Interestingly, I'm not a travel vlogger. I never thought that I would be doing this. Well, hello there. I am back with another video. This time I'm kind of delving deeper into some of the things that I brought with me on my trip to Turkey specifically, but this will also apply to long haul flights of any sort. Now, when I went to Turkey several weeks ago now, I traveled with a carry-on bag that was 8 kilograms, and I also had a handbag or tote bag with me that weighed 4 kilograms. I also had a Scotty vest trench coat, which has tons of pockets that I utilize, as well as a denim jacket, which also had 2 interior pockets that enabled me to use that as well for some of my other miscellaneous things. And for those of you who aren't familiar with kilograms, 8 kilograms is roughly 17.65 pounds. So a 8 kilogram plus 4 kilogram, you're basically looking at around 25 pounds. And most people can't even pack a suitcase that's only 25 pounds. So imagine taking things with you that you need for an entire week or 8 days-ish, just in those 2 items. It was a huge challenge. So interestingly, I'm not a travel vlogger. I never thought that I would be doing this. I'm actually a decorative and restoration artist by trade, and I have my own business, and I love what we do, and I'm inspired by travel mainly. But in that inspiration process, I also realized that I couldn't take everything but the kitchen sink with me. So I have learned, and it's really been trial by fire, how to do most of this kind of the packing hacks and how to kind of pare down, still be able to travel with some creature comforts. And because I'm definitely not a minimalist, I can't be a maximalist while I'm traveling, but there are some areas that I just kind of refuse to go bare bones. And most of the time it has to just do with creature comforts for me. You know, I want to be comfortable when I'm traveling. So I'll go into a few of those things today. I have a table full of some items that I almost always have with me when I am traveling. Today's topic is really about what I have with me on the airplane, and I'll go into some detail about that and some things I brought that are for long haul flights, but I'll also explain what I do for shorter haul flights when certain things are not necessary. So I'm really excited that you're here. Thanks for coming back. I had no idea that I would be doing this, but the response has been pretty amazing. Already, the Turkey video, I guess, already has over 1,000 views, 1.1K views, and my small capsule wardrobe video that I did also, I think, has close to 400 views. So, which, okay, there are plenty of travel vloggers out there that have, you know, 1 million views, and I can't even imagine that. But just the fact that more than 10 people want to see my videos is pretty exciting to me, and it just gives me a lot of joy to actually share this. And I have had people in my life that have said to me in the past, "Why aren't you doing videos of this? This is so interesting. This is so cool." Well, I'm trying to do this and kind of broaden my horizons a little bit. So let's see where this goes. So anyway, I'm going to move the camera so you won't see my face. And today I'm using a tripod. Woohoo! So I'm going to move the camera so that it's focused on the things on the table and not on me. And so let's see what I have here, and hopefully you'll learn something from what I have to say. So bye for now, and I'll see you at the end of the video. Okay, so one of the most important things I think about long haul flights is making sure that you have a really good pair of compression socks. And I've used some drugstore type compression socks before, and I'm sure that those are fine. What I really love are these merino wool compression socks, and they're from a company called Sockwell that you may or may not be able to see here. I'm still working on the camera stuff. I don't really know what people are able to see or not see, so here we go. Okay, so they're made by a company called Sockwell, and I like them because they're merino wool, also because they're pretty. They have kind of a brocade style or design on the sock, so it doesn't look like they're necessarily compression socks. But these are definitely a lifesaver, probably literally and figuratively, on a long haul flight. Anything now, any flight that I take that's over an hour long, I'm always wearing compression socks. The great thing about this is because they're merino wool, you can wash them out in the sink at your hotel or wherever you're staying and let them dry overnight. And it has all like these little woolen fuzzies on it, but they're wonderful. And actually this particular pair I've had now for probably a year and a half, and they've held up super well. They're still super compressive, you know, the elastic hasn't gone out of them. They're very stretchy and super comfortable to wear. I was really surprised about that. So for sure, I highly recommend investing in a pair of compression socks. They are an imperative item to have with you, especially on a long haul flight. And along with that, I have this really wonderful travel scarf, and this is by Eddie Bauer. And you know, additionally, I don't have links or anything in my description box. I'm trying to tell you where these things come from, but I don't really yet know how to do that. So I'm working on that. So just be patient with me, and hopefully I can actually eventually do that. But for now, I'm just gonna show you what I have, and hopefully you'll gain something from this, and you can either buy the same product or find something that's similar. So this travel scarf is multi-use and multifunctional. I have this in a dark gray as well. I tend to use the black one the most. It's just the most versatile for me. I do wear a lot of white and black, as you see today with what I'm wearing. What I love about this is it does have a little zipper pocket. So it's nice because you could put some money in here. It's actually large enough for your passport. I don't know that I'd put a whole bunch of stuff in here because it would obviously be bulky. I mean, let me just, for the sake of doing this, if we put, I haven't done this before, so I'm just testing it, but if we put this in there, you can see that's pretty bulky, and it's pretty obvious, I guess, that you have something in your scarf. I like to use this or think of this more as kind of a secret pocket. And I do sometimes, if I'm especially traveling somewhere where I'm kind of not sure about pickpockets or issues like that, I will split up my money, and anything that's super important to me, like a passport or identification or even a copy of my visa being in that country, I like to kind of have that with me, so I can almost use this as an under the clothing money belt, if you will. And the way that you can wear this also, let's see if you can see this. There are holes in here. Now these are finished, and the great thing about this is that you can also wear this as a ruana, or not only a shawl, but you can put your arms through this, obviously backwards, and this is actually can work almost like a small jacket. And you don't see that when you're wearing it as a scarf, because it all kind of goes together. And but anyway, if I had something in the pocket, this side is the pocket side, I may put this around my neck in such a way that the other side of the scarf was on top, so you couldn't tell that maybe my passport and my documents were in this side. So anyway, so this is another just absolute necessity when I'm traveling, whether it's long haul or short haul, because also I like having this to keep me warm on the plane, and it just acts as an additional layer if you were to need it. Now, I don't always travel with this one exactly. I have other maybe shawls or wraps that I travel with, but I always make sure I have a wrap because that's just an imperative thing for me. And moving right along, let's start with or talk about these. I did touch on these briefly. I have a smaller one for water as well. This last trip that I took, I was in a warmer climate and I knew I'd want more water because we'd be on foot during the day. So I did take this larger one because the smaller one I had for Turkey was almost not enough. But this I typically use for water, and then this little thermos I use for coffee and tea. And I do keep them separate because I find that the water doesn't taste like water. If you just rinse something out that you had coffee in and then put water in it, it kind of tastes yucky. So I like to have two small thermoses. And honestly, this is about the size of a standard water bottle. I don't know if you can tell that. Let me look in my watch here. Whoops, no, this way. Ta-da. Okay. So stacked on top of each other, this is about the size of a standard water bottle. So really, I'm not taking a whole lot with me, but I'm just making sure, again, going to Creature Comforts or just making sure that I stay hydrated. By taking two of these, I have what I need without taking two giant thermoses with me. And this little thing is actually Thermos brand. It is 8 ounces. And this one I think is 12 ounces. And it's, yes, it is 12 fluid ounces, 360 milliliters. And it's by a company called W&P. It's, the nice thing about this is it is a ceramic finish on stainless steel. And it's, you know, BPA free and all of that. This is a rubber covering, and the top also has kind of a rubbery feel to it. So I've dropped it a couple times, I guess is the reason I'm saying that. I've dropped it and I've never had an issue with it. So anyway, highly recommend having two small water bottles with you. This one will easily fit in a water bottle or umbrella pocket on the side of a backpack or your, you know, everyday carry bag, but it's small enough also it could even fit down in a purse. And the same with this, or the other one I have, something that's either 12 ounces or smaller, is really easy to be able to use in that type of situation. So highly recommend. Okay, we're going to talk about this. And I do use this particular neck pillow. I did promise in my turkey video that I would talk about this setup. I'm using the Cabo, I guess that's how you say that, Cabo neck pillow bag, but there is a different pillow in here, and I will explain why. It was kind of a jack-in-the-box, is a jack-in-the-box situation, so that's why I didn't try to open it with the turkey video, because I knew it might take a little bit of time. But I actually have in here a vintage Eddie Bauer down pillow. And the great thing about this, it's actually not just a down pillow, but it is stuffed with, if I can get this open, it is stuffed with a down-filled throw. So it is a pillow. It can be used as a travel pillow, but it also can be used as a throw. Now, when I went to Turkey and when I went to Europe, I knew going in that the beds were going to be very hard in comparison to beds in America, and that pillows were also going to be very hard in comparison to American style bedding. So with I have an autoimmune issue, and so oftentimes I have joint pain. I have my body tends to be inflamed, and so sleeping at night or laying down for a long period of time often is very uncomfortable, especially on a hard surface. So for me, this was a most imperative. And honestly, this is one of my absolutely non-negotiables. I would put this in the same category as my compression socks. I won't travel without this. And usually because I sleep in the A seat, I typically on a long haul flight will get an A seat. I have no trouble at all using this to lean up against the wall of the airplane at the window. It's very comfortable, and it's really easy to use also. But the greatest part, of course, is that it's so versatile. So if I am uncomfortable, and when I was in Europe, I used this at every hotel where I stayed, and my Airbnb the last week that I was there. Actually, it was a godsend. I was so happy I had it. But anyway, all right, so non-negotiable. Let's put this over here. All right, let's talk about when I get on the airplane. Now, I have 3 different things here, and this is a Peak Design. This is their packable tote. There's a lot of people that are actually using this, and I learned about this from, I think, several other travel bloggers. And I want to say the very first time I learned about it was with Pack Hacker. It is a great little bag. What I like most about it is compact. Oops. There we go. Okay, and what I really like most about it is it has a zipper. I don't know how well you can see that, but it does have a zipper. And then I'm going to show you the other 2 that I have, and then I'll explain what I use them for. So this one does not have a zipper. It's one of these little kind of day backpacks that's just very super casual. It has these kind of strings for straps. It does have a hook here, which I think is imperative, and it does have a small zipper pocket on the inside, which is also kind of an upgrade. A lot of these don't, this type of bag doesn't have that, but it does at least pull closed like that and keep your belongings inside. And then the third thing that I have here is just an Adidas kind of tote bag. This does not have a zipper, but it does have a little snap at the top, and I have used this before. I don't like it as well because it doesn't have a really secure top on it. I prefer the other 2 I just showed you. But let's talk about what I use actually these bags for. And that is because I typically sit in an A seat of the airplane, I like to be able to put my belongings as I'm boarding the airplane. My carry-on is going to be above, and my under the seat bag is typically going to be stowed under the seat. And if you're sitting in standard seating, you don't want to be bothering your seatmates by constantly moving around and shuffling and grabbing stuff. So when I first board the plane, what I like to do with this particular bag is, and it has a zipper, again, I like that option because I want to be able to put, typically I'll put my water bottle inside of here. Let me see. Well, I'll talk about these other 2 bags next, but I may put this bag down inside of here, and I may put my planner in here. And then that way, that is pretty much everything that I'm going to need for the duration of my flight, even if it is a long-term flight. And this is something that I usually will put just kind of behind my legs or against the window wall, because then I can have access to it, but I'm not having to actually pull all of my bags from under the seat in front of me out. And also, if there's turbulence, or if things are shifting around, or if I get up to go to the bathroom and let's say there's turbulence, I don't want to come back to my seat and have all of my things all over the floor. The nice thing about having a zipper with this is that all of your things are always intact and they're easy to access. Okay, now the last two things I want to talk about. This bag is really cute. I've had this for a long time. It's a Tory Burch, and let me see if you can even see what I'm doing here. Okay, so it's made by Tory Burch, and it has all these like travel related motifs on it, which are super cute. I do not take this with me because it is heavy, but the reason that I use it, and I actually am thrilled that it has this on here, is because this is typically what I have in my pockets when I am boarding an airplane. As I said before, I always have a denim jacket, or I have a Scotty vest or something that has pockets, interior pockets that I can access on myself at my seat. And so these are some of the things I like to have with me and keep in my pocket. So I always have a lipstick, hand sanitizer. Let's see if you're able to see what I'm doing here. Yes, you are. This is some medicine that I typically take with me, some Alka-Seltzer for upset stomach. I may talk about this sometime. This little black bag is something that I have some airplane items in that I use. I won't go into that right now, but it has to do with the technology on the plane. Some little candies, breath mints, that type of thing. A hero clip, always important. Hand sanitizer, sheets. And so these are the things that I keep in my pocket or pockets when I'm traveling, just so that I always have that. And of course that also would include my phone, which we're filming on right now. And anyway, but this, by keeping it in this bag, it keeps me organized. So when I come home, I put everything in this bag, and then when I'm ready to leave again, everything that's in this bag goes in my pockets. So moving on to the next and last thing. This little bag I talked about before, and oh wait, I went the wrong direction. Sorry guys. There we go. All right, awesome. So this little bag I talked about before, I found this at Target in their little kind of dollar section at the front of the store. That's that they have just kind of a lot of little school supply stuff and things for kids and lunchbox and household and all kinds of things. And I don't know how sturdy this is or how long it will last, but what I really liked about it, of course, the front pocket I think is to put a phone in, but it's not big enough for my phone in a case. So I just keep those little like hand wet wipes in. So I had that one left over from when I was in Turkey. What I do love about this is the bag that I have on a plane on a long haul flight that I intend to take with me to the restroom for the most part. You know, it has basically my toiletry items in it. And the great thing about this bag is it has this nice little loop so that this can hang on the bathroom door. Anyone who's been in a lavatory on a long haul flight knows that there's water all over. If there is a counter, there's water everywhere. So I don't want to set this on a counter. I want to hang it up behind the door. And then what I have in here is I have a sleep mask in here that I really love. It's one of those that the eyes are kind of cupped so that, you know, your eyelashes and your eyes aren't smushed against your face. And I think that's a really wonderful style of eye mask. And I know a lot of other travel people love that as well. I have a travel toothbrush. Now I do travel with a regular my Sonicare toothbrush, but this is just kind of quick and dirty when you're on the plane. I do keep my Sonicare in because of the lithium battery. It is rechargeable. I do keep it in my carry-on under the seat bag, but I prefer to use this because it's easier to put in this little container. And then I have feminine hygiene in here. I have these, I use blister packs a lot of times of product. And let me see if you're able to see what I'm doing here. So anytime that I'm able to get a blister pack, you know, a sample or something from a retailer, I love that, especially if it's products that I know, like, and trust. It's wonderful to be able to just have that instead of having to take bottles with you. And also, this didn't really count towards my liquids. I've never been pulled aside for this. Oh, I have lip moisturizer here. I have face moisturizer, hand moisturizer. I do have a stick pack of green tea, and I have a decaf coffee in here as well. And I do have a little sewing kit because you never know if you know, you have a button pop off or something like that. So I have a couple of buttons and some thread and needle and safety pin in there. Do carry some lozenges in here, a comb, and I always keep the comb actually in this bag. I don't take it out. I have another comb that I use in my regular toiletry kit. And then I do have extra hand sanitizer wipes in here. And I'm trying to see if there's any other like major, oh, I do keep like single serving mouthwash. I put these in these leak-proof Nalgene containers. I've never had this leak. I've also never been pulled aside or had anyone tell me to put this in my liquids bag because it's so very little, I suppose, but it's just enough to freshen your mouth and help you not feel really gross when you're traveling long distance. Okay. I'm surprised that I made it as long as I did with the other video that I was showing you. My sleeve kept catching my Apple Watch and it kept changing the resolution on the camera, and it eventually actually stopped the recording entirely. So I'm going to finish the last part of this. I'm talking about my toiletry bag that I carry on the airplane with me. And the last thing where it cut off was that I was talking about this little container. And it actually has a shampoo, a conditioner, face and body soap, as well as a piece of laundry soap. And I carry this with me. It's a little bit scuzzy looking because it's just, you know, gotten mashed around from travel. But I always have this with me in this toiletry case. Not necessarily because I'm going to be doing laundry on the plane. I mean, I guess, you know, if somebody spilled red wine all over me or a Bloody Mary, it would be nice to have. But it's great to have that with me because it does give me a backup if my luggage happens to be misplaced or lost. And so I this way, because of my various, you know, skin allergies and other issues that I have because of the autoimmune problem, it does give me an option when I arrive somewhere, so that I have my toothpaste, I have my body wash, I have all of my creams and whatever else that I need to be able to get through a couple of days. And I've definitely utilized it. And there have been a couple of times actually that I forgot certain things in my toiletry bag. And so I actually had to end up relying on the things that were in this miniature toiletry bag. So I was really glad that I had it. So I don't tend to be now, I used to, but I don't tend to be as much of a, well, what if this happens? I actually tend to be more of the type of person now that I realize that there have been certain things that have happened to me where, like, my luggage was lost. What would you do? And honest to goodness, I think the main concern there is that, I don't know about you, but when I plan a trip, I only have a certain amount of time, and I don't want to spend that time futzing around in a small town where I don't speak the language, going from pharmacy to pharmacy, trying to find Imodium, for example, or trying to find, I saw another travel vlogger talk the other day that she explained that in Italy that they don't have monostat type products. So for females that have to take care of a yeast infection, what do you do? Now, I don't travel with anything like that, but again, it's like, where, you know, how far do you go, you know, in with these things that we need, or that we could need, that we couldn't find. I don't know. I don't want to spend 4 hours looking for something that's going to help me the way Imodium does. I know Imodium works, so I always have probably 6 of the little capsules with me, just to make sure that at least it could get me through, I don't know, a 24 or 48 hour period of time until I could see a doctor or a pharmacist and get some help. So it's a fine line, I suppose, but it just depends on what you're willing to carry and what you're willing to part with. And for me, it just makes sense to take some of the basics with me, like in this case, having shampoo and conditioner that I know work with my skin, that I'm not going to have a reaction to, as well as a laundry soap to wash out my underclothes in the sink, you know, and be able to function the next day, and not like have a vacation potentially start off on the wrong foot. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being here. I hope that, let's see, can you see me? Well, I hope that you can see me. I hope this is working. And thanks for encouraging me most of all to do this, because I love it. And I have a ton more travel planned, and lots of different climates that I'm going to, and I'm still intending to take the 40-liter carry-on and a small tote or a backpack. So that's the goal from here on out, to be able to travel at least with that amount of luggage, or potentially less. We'll just have to see. So stay tuned. There'll be a whole lot more. And thanks again for watching. Bye for now. Take care.